Let us first understand what happens when errors are detected before the preparation of trial balance. We shall consider with some examples. So, an example of a single-sided error detected before trial balance: sales daybook is overcast by 1000. So, what happens when the sales daybook is overcast by 1000? Let us see. If I write a sales daybook here, the sales daybook, suppose in a sales daybook I just write X, Y and Z's account. Okay, let's say the sales in the sales daybook 10,000, 20,000, I total this as 36,000. This is my error. Instead of 35,000, I have totaled this as 36,000 in the sales day book, which is nothing but a book in which all credit sales of goods is recorded, right? So now I have got sales day book of 36,000. This goes to the sales account on the credit side, and this goes to the each and every debtors account. So X account will get debited by 10,000 individually, Y's account will get debited by 20,000 and Z's account will get debited by 5,000. So the total debits would actually be 35,000, but the credit to sales account would be 36,000. Basically, the wrong entry that they have passed, if you notice, I am not taking separately, I am just saying debtors account debit. Let us say they will get 35,000 to sales account. This is the error that they have made. This is the wrong entry that they have passed. So basically what we need to do is to rectify the sales account, bring it down by 1,000. Mind you, an error like this is a single-sided error. Trial balance does not tally. The trial balance has not yet been prepared, not yet completed. So this single-sided errors, in order to correct, we will go to the side that we need to write an entry, write the amount on the side we need to. There is no double entry involved now. We are in fact writing an entry, doing something in order to get the trial balance to tally. Since credit side is more, we go to the debit side of the sales account and simply say to error in casting or to overcasting error in sales daybook. This is more like a statement. It is not a double entry, but we put this 1,000 here so that now the sales account would tally. This is a pretty simple example, and I hope the effect is very easy to deduce. So sales account, debit, credit, sales account, excess credit here. In order to remove the credit, what do? We come to the debit side and debit by 1,000. I repeat, this is not really a journal entry. There is no double entry. It's just come to the debit side and offset this mistake. Why are we able to do this? Because this is a single-sided error which was detected before the trial balance has been created. Now another example of a single-sided error before trial balance. Purchase of 5,000 from Raj posted to the debit of his account. Remember, the purchase is recorded where? In the purchase day book. Purchase day book total is taken to the purchase account. Individual supplier's account would be credited. Now instead of crediting, we have posted it to the debit of his account. So what is the wrong entry that we have ultimately passed? What is it we have done? We have gone and said, or the accountant has said, purchase account debit 5,000 and then said Raj account also debit. Raj account debit 5,000. This is the effect of the entry, that is not double entry. They have debited purchase account by 5,000, also debited Raj's account by 5,000. This is the mistake that has been made. So how do we rectify? What is correct here? Purchase account debit is correct, but Raj's account is wrong. Now one way of correcting this, for many of us it may be simple to comprehend the rectification that we need to do here. The rectification is simply that we need to credit Raj's account. We need to credit Raj's account by not just 5,000, we need to credit it by 10,000. 5,000 in order to remove this wrong debit and another 5,000 because his account needs to be credited. Having said that, I will just discuss a slightly longer way of how we could go about this if we are not always able to quickly comprehend, quickly understand what should be a rectification entry. First, we write the wrong entry, what has been wrong passed. Mind you, what we have passed wrongly here has no credit. It is a single-sided error. So the wrong entry, that is purchase account debit 5,000, Raj account debit 5,000. The wrong entry needs to be reversed. How do we cancel a wrong entry? Simply reverse the entry, it gets cancelled. So we can always cancel the wrong entry and pass the new entry. A combination of this will tell us what would be the effect. Let us see what should be the rectification entry. How do we reverse this? By crediting. So I am crediting 2 purchases to Raj. So I am cancelling. With this, what am I doing? This on the credit side. 5,000 and 5,000. As a result of doing this, I have cancelled the wrong entry that we had passed. Now what will we do? We'll pass the correct entry. That effect is gone. We need to pass the actual entry, which is nothing but purchase account debit to Raj. Purchase account is debited by 5,000. Raj account is credited by 5,000. Now let us combine these 2 entries and that will give us the rectification entry. Purchase account credited by 5,000, purchase account debited by 5,000. Therefore, we don't have to do anything to the purchases account. Yes or no? Purchase account has been recorded correctly. We have to credit Raj by 5,000. Again, we have to credit Raj by 5,000. Basically, that means our rectification entry is to credit Raj by 5,000 plus 5,000, that is equal to 10,000. So what do? We go to Raj's account. Again, I repeat, this is not a journal entry, not a double entry. We need to credit it by error in posting. We say by error in posting. Error in posting. What is the amount we are talking about? 10,000. And this will rectify our errors. For those of us who want to think about it logically, Raj's account has to be credited by 5,000 so that this wrong debit is cancelled, and we need to again credit 5,000 to Raj's account because on account of purchase his account needs to be credited. So Raj's account basically needs to be credited by 10,000. So we go to the credit side of his account and write by error in posting 10,000. Sales of 1,540 to Mr. X was posted to his account as 1,450. Sales is what? 1540. Where was this recorded? In the sales table. If it's recorded in the sales table, the total of the sales will go to our sales account. The sales is correct. Sales is 1540, but posted to X's account. From the sales day book, when we post, we always post to the debit side of Mr. X. So it was posted to X's account as 1450. So basically the wrong entry that we have passed is X's account debit to sales. X's account was debited by 1450 and sales account is 1540. This is the wrong entry that has been passed. How do we rectify this? Like I said, let us just cancel the wrong entry, pass the correct entry, combine the two to give us what is the, this is the wrong entry. What is the wrong entry? Reversing the wrong entry, I get sales account debit 1540 to X account 1450. This is reversing. And the actual entry that I should have passed is X account debit to sales account. What is the amount we are talking about? This is the correct entry. This is the correct entry. So a combination of these two will give me the rectifying entry. What is the combination here? Sales account debit 1540, sales account credit 1540. So there is nothing to be done to the sales account. What do I do to X's account? X's account was credited 1450, debited 1540. That means I need to debit X's account with the difference. So rectifying entry is X account debit. How much to be debited? 1540 minus 1450, an amount of 90 rupees. So how do I rectify? I go to X's account like before and say it needs to be debited. So to misposting or error in posting. This is not really, I repeat, an account, because these are single-sided errors detected before trial balance. We simply go to the proper side and pass and fill in the amount of error, amount of difference. To error in posting, rupees 90. Double-sided error detected before trial balance. Let us consider this. Mind you, a double-sided error detected before trial balance and detected after trial balance, the accounting treatment would be the same. What happens here? An amount of 8,765 which was paid to M was debited to N's account. When it was paid to M, the entry we should have passed is M's account debit to cash 8,765. This, instead of this, we have debited it to N's account. So basically, the wrong entry that we passed is N's account debit to cash is 8765. 8765. This is the wrong entry. So what did we say we'll do? We'll just reverse this entry. (8765). Just reversed the entry and passed the correct entry. It should have been M's account debit to cash. I repeat, this is a slightly longer way of doing it. If the logic is clear, we can pass it directly. We don't have to do this. We can pass straight away. So here what happens, if we combine these two entries, then we get what is the rectifying entry. What do we get here? Cash is debited 8765. It's also credited 8765. Therefore, we don't bring the cash account into the picture at all. N's account is credited by 8765. M's account is debited by 8765. Therefore, the rectifying entry would be M's account debit to N's account 8765. So this is our rectifying entry. It is simple. An amount of 8765 paid to M was debited to N. So instead of debiting M, we debited N. So we credit N's account to remove the wrong debit, and we debit M's account since it has to be debited. Purchase invoice not recorded. Purchase invoice has not been recorded at all. So purchase is less, supplier is less. Basically, all we need to do is to pass the entry. Therefore, we would say purchase account debit to creditor, to supplier, to XYZ, whoever it is. Amount is not given, whatever is the amount. This would be the rectifying entry. The actual entry which has not been passed would be passed now, and this would be a rectification entry. Wages paid on installation of machinery debited to wages account. Wages paid on installation of machinery should be debited to machinery account, not wages account. How would we rectify that? Machinery account needs to be debited. We would debit that. Credit wages account since it has been wrongly debited. Having said that, let's just see what is the entry that has been passed. Wages account debit to cash. This is what? The wrong entry. 3000. Right? This is the wrong entry. If this is the wrong entry, we will reverse this and pass the correct entry. Reversing, what do we get? If we reverse the above entry, we simply get cash account debit to wages 3000. And what should have been our entry? It should have been machinery account debit to cash 3000. If you combine these two, cash account is debited, cash account is credited by the same amount. So we don't have to do anything with cash. So this is taken care of. Wages account has been credited by 3000. Machinery account has been debited. So machinery account debit 3000 to wages 3000. So this is your rectification entry. Machinery account debit to wages. Wages paid on installation of machinery debited to wages account. So we debited wages, so we credit that to rectify. We need to debit machinery, so we debit machinery. Machinery account debit to wages.